Hey guys, what's going on? This is Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and I want to talk to you guys today a little bit about a project I've been working on for the last couple of months, and it's a child development manual. Now, this manual is going to be from the ages of about 5 to around 8 to 10 years old. And I think it's important to make this YouTube video not only to show you guys a product that we got coming out, but also to tell you guys a lot of key things that you should be knowing if you are a parent or a coach of a child of this age. The first thing that we need to understand is that at this age, we don't need to impose specific tasks. So, although you might want your child or your child may want to just play football, just swim, just play soccer, it's important at this age that they get a multitude of physical capacities before they become a little bit older. The reason for this is that we have to build a solid foundation of movement tasks, meaning that they need to be stressed a little bit in endurance, a little bit in strength, a little bit in flexibility, actually a lot in flexibility and mobility, and just basic coordination. So this age is a very, very important age for the brain and the spinal cord and its ability to adjust and to utilize the right muscle tissue at the right time is the most adaptable between these ages of around 5 to 10 years old. But what you find in America is that we tend to overcompete and undertrain. So what we have is we get kids that want to play football, and then they show up, I'm not saying at this age, maybe like pee-wee leagues. They show up and they've never really done anything, and they just throw them in pads and play football. Not really the best idea. So think about this as a developmental process. We know when we teach kids how to read, for example, we don't teach them by starting with paragraphs and books. We start by learning alphabet, then we learn words, then we learn sentences, then we learn paragraphs, and then we can formulate longer aspects of this particular style of education, which is normal writing. But you notice that we don't apply the same mentality to sports training, and that can be a very big disadvantage to not only the athlete, but just the overall preparation of an entire team. And so where I think we're really missing in education is not necessarily at the college level and maybe even at the pro level. I've met a lot of guys at those levels that know a lot about training. But how many people have you actually met that know how to train people from the ages of 5 to 10? That's going to be a slippery area, because the reason is, I think it's a problem, is because most of the people that work with kids at this age, they're volunteers, right? So really, you look at gymnastics and a couple other sports that are very youth developed, they may have some very good coaches, but they're only good coaches in specific skills. So we need to start by learning basic motor tasks. So if we go back to our old Soviet enemy counterparts, what you start to realize is that they utilize a lot of tumbling pre any type of sport. So learning how to fall, learning how to balance, learning how to coordinate. All of these things are very, very important in order for you to be able to develop as an athlete down the road. So the key is a multitude of different stimuluses, increasing a little bit of body weight strength with flexibility at the same time, and trying to fix what normal athletes have as imbalances, which is going to be hamstrings, left to right imbalances, front to back imbalances. So from training a multitude of kids at the gym over the last 20 years, I've developed a 12-week program that I think will work really well with any athlete or any kid that's striving to be an athlete down the road or may have potential to be an athlete down the road. But some things that we have to apply, and this is going to be in the manual as well, is, we think of age as only in chronological based on our birth year. But in reality, we have chronological age, which is what we just talked about. And then we have these other particular age. We have developmental age, right? We have mental, cognitive, and emotional maturity age. We have a skeletal age. We have a training age, which is how long this person's been doing anything physically active. We have a sports-specific age, which this is not going to entail, which basically means how long have they specialized in a particular sport, which will come down the road, but not really necessarily in this manual. But my point being is, look at how many phases we have of different types of aging, and everybody hits these at slightly different times. So what I like about the ages between 5 and 8 is that kids, both male and female, tend to adapt about the same rate. But once you start getting close to 8, 9, 10 years old, you're going to see that the males start to take off more just based on puberty and maturity. I think some of the biggest things that we have to keep in mind as parents and coaches is constantly learning. It's amazing to me how many parents have children but don't necessarily read any books on child development, motor learning skills, or any of these things. So again, you want to be a consistent learner and you want to kind of get an idea of what's actually going on versus just kind of going the easy way. So we're going to make a kids channel on YouTube that's going to show the exercises that are in these videos. They'll be hyperlinked. And some of the training videos will be public and some of them will be private. Just underneath, when you buy the manual, they'll be hyperlinked there. I think the big thing that we have to realize is that at this age, we can make some drastic impacts on both awareness and posture, bone density, and structural hypertrophy. Remember, hypertrophy is not a massive, not hypertrophy in what adults would think or bodybuilders. This is more just muscular hypertrophy at a youth or pre-puberty level. So you're not going to obviously look like Ronnie Coleman at 9 years old, but you can increase a little bit of muscle mass at this age. Your speed and flexibility will go up dramatically with this type of manual, and hopefully we can reduce injury both today and tomorrow. So again, with a lot of the kids that I've worked with that have either been disabled or kids that have just been normal, this manual is a direct correlation of what I've used for the last, say, 15 or 20 years. Goes over a lot of different things and has a lot of different references and just quotes from high-level coaches that really have been forgotten about in this day and age. So if you're interested in that, go to winningstrength.com. We're going to post this manual on the membership site, which gives you a ton of manuals for a low monthly rate. Plus, it's going to be some coaching stuff on there as well for this particular age group, which I feel nobody is focusing on. So talk to you guys later.